And we are doing a very in-depth video on markets in general. I will go over everything I can to make this as quickly as possible. It is going to be a little bit longer of video, so please let me get started. If you haven't already, leave a like, subscribe, press the bell button for notifications so you get these updates as they come out. If you are interested in trading with me live, please feel free to join the Discord server. The link to the server is in the description of this video below, alongside all the other affiliate services that I use and recommend that helps this channel grow, so thank you so much. Now, let's get started. We are looking at Dixie. Now, for the last few weeks, I've been telling you, hey, watch out. Dixie is officially in the long area. If the institution, the central banks, all of the big people in power, if they were going to get into the Dixie, or if they were going to buy dollar, now is the time, because it is basically taking a hit compared to the euro. So yeah, this inverse relationship we were looking for is broke right around there, around 102.50. And when this goes to the downside, we had an inverse relationship with crypto and tech, which was going up, but that has basically been no longer occurring. As you can see, we are getting a little bit of a dead cat bounce, but it is not anything to write home about, okay? Because here it is. It's still just a bull flag testing into the upper resistance of a channel. If you had a parallel descending channel here, you're basically tapping the top and going down, taking the liquidity of the bottom of the channel, going back to the middle. Eventually, you will stop doing these wicks to the downside, as you can starting to see in these last few weeks. We were putting in a bottom here. If the next few weeks we are not making lower lows underneath 55K, then obviously up and away makes sense for the delayed inverse relationship to Dixie to play out, okay? So that aside, back to Dixie, I want to go to the monthly, and then we'll go back to these assets one by one. Feel free to like fast forward to whatever you're trying to look at. But on the monthly, you can see Dixie is basically hitting the support over here around $100. I don't want to see lower than 100. If it does, I mean, man, oh man, crypto and tech is going to be a buying opportunity, because it is considered, cheap compared to dollar. So yeah, they will probably be reinvesting those dollars into more, advancements in the company, hiring, etc. So we'll see if that all plays out in that inverse relationship, or if that inverse relationship is now dead and gone, since CME has taken Bitcoin and ETH, and now we have ETFs and stuff. So maybe like they're gonna move with the indexes, not inverse anymore, since those indexes themselves started holding Bitcoin and ETH in their own company portfolios as a hedge in their treasuries. So yeah, basically downside is coming. This is all set. Now let me go show you, before we do Bitcoin and ETH, I want to go over US stuff first. I'm going to go over NQ, because I've been discussing this with a few other people. NQ, you can see here, NASDAQ 100 E-minis. We had a bearish monthly close in July. This August, we had the sell-off, and all we are doing right now on this month is basically retesting the breakdown. You did not even get above the body. You're rejecting at the body, and you're basically finding a point of control over here around 19.6. Now, if you go to a lower time frame, such as weekly, you can see that this head and this gap, we basically filled the gap, and we're basically here now. Are we going to have continuation up, or are we going to reject here and roll on over? I'm going to show you my indicators, as this is what I've been looking at. Let me zoom that up like this. So anyone who shorted around the 21, is it 21? Around 21 on NQ probably took profit around 18.9. They were trying to take their next profit here at 16.6. We basically had probably someone get liquidated, and the fast move up, short squeeze fashion, into a dead cat bounce, basically a reshorting opportunity of 20,200. That's on the larger time frame. Now, if you see this over here on the lower time frame during that dead cat bounce, if you were looking for a proper entry, this is how I was looking at it. And you can see the bearish divergence on the volume too on the higher time frame. You can't see it on 4 hour, but on daily you can. But this is how we were approaching this. This was the money line in the previous shot around 20,200, where we were trying to re-enter that short if given the opportunity. We did not make it, and you had a hard rejection here after the liquidity over here was taken. And basically what you're doing now is deciding, is this area support? Is this like this and like this? That's how I would approach it. You do what you want. Is this channel going to be support or not for us to bounce and continue upside on? If not, if we lose the middle of this channel, obviously you know that this little situation here could have been a bear flag, okay? And you got a head and shoulder here, and here's your right shoulder flag, and then you're looking for the rejection into the middle of the channel and then down to that $19,000 area. This is the next channel where I'm expecting for a long, and that's also the bottom of the channel. We are basically not the bottom of the channel, that's the take profit one of the shorts who shorted on the higher time frame. After they lose this level here at 18.9, they're going to target that 16.6. I'm not saying this level is going to come or is like destined, but hit rate wise, this is like almost 50% gonna hit. Okay, this was like 75% for sure. This is 50%, and this is 20% that we're gonna get to 13.7. But the possibility is there, and I am not gonna discount it. So just be aware. And then right now, the dead cat bounce on daily actually did the volume impulse that we would have wanted to see if anyone wanted to short. Okay, so they basically had the sell-off, and then this dead cat bounce went right into that area with volume. So if anyone is reshorting, that's when they were going to do the short of the retest. And now we can see the next Monday, Tuesday, how this opens up and comes out. Now, worst case scenario, you can make a level of support. I'm going to remove the little green channel that we did. You can make a level of support over here at 19,500. So as long as we don't lose 19,500, the possibility of coming into the 20,200 is still there. So just keep that in mind. And this is where you can look to enter a first position on your short, and then the real entry is over here. Because they're going to try to make these people scared as much as possible. And their stop is over here at 2150, right? So coming all the way to 20,700, everyone's going to get bullish, all the retail going to buy the top, and then institution uses that liquidity to fill their short and market short down until they hit their TPs and etc. And right now on this, if you like, you know, if you really want to be a stickler for price action, I mean, this is how I would be approaching it for that buying opportunity. Let's go to a higher time frame. NQ, you need a higher time frame because these things move like turtles. But something like that is what I would be like approaching. I know this is a very steep. It is very steep. That is how I would like to look at it. And you know what? I'll even go a little bit more gracious in the hopes that we're bullish on an angle like this, due to the fact that you had this little spliff right here. So I'm going to use that as a potential pivot area, mid of channel. And you can see what's going on right on the middle of the channel. This area was the first rejection, and now the resistance flipped to support, but still you're making a head and shoulder distributional top. If you lose this middle of this channel over here at 19.5, man, you know, the bottom of the channel is your next target. And that would be a higher low from this little catastrophe double bottom situation here. This is a very nice double bottom, by the way. This is a nice double bottom, higher low. If you inverse this chart, what does this look like to you? Right? So if you inverse the chart, doesn't this look like an inverse head and shoulder? Looking like the right shoulder coming to support, looking for the breakout. So just, you know, sometimes you have to remove your biases by doing that inverse, okay? This is something that you take into consideration for the future. I'm saving that for the members. Let me actually post that onto the Discord. Or let me just save it because the Discord is shut. Okay. So we're done with NQ. The point of the matter is, like, you know, it looks like we're all good and healthy, but honestly, I can see why we're having resistance here and this little area between this top and this bottom is basically us filling up the price efficiency, and then it's like downside. Basically, this area is telling you that this neckline is the top, and we are proving it by not claiming it and using it as a pivot point for downside. So just keep that in mind. Just post this, and then after this, let's take a peek at QQQ. That's another thing everyone is trading. Okay, now QQQ, I did have drawings. There they go. Okay, so these are very, very, very old fibs from like 2023, where we were looking at this inverse head and shoulder. We were looking for the breakout, and if this level, we were actually looking to short this level right here. So this was the short from way long ago. And once this thing got claimed, you were looking for 450 as the nuke, and you actually overshot it. These fibs need to be redrawn. You can do something like this and remove this. And I would be approaching it like this, in the sense that on the higher time frame, that monthly close looks like a rejection to me, just like on NQ. You're doing a dead cat into that area, a huge wick, meaning like, you know, someone got impulsed out, liquidation. And these levels are being respected, as you can see. Same thing as NQQ. There you go. So around this 469 is where you need to hold for upside continuation. If you lose 469, the next target's going to be this 412, and then after that 312. And this is something that I'm looking at next year. I was not expecting this to happen this year, but yeah, just be aware that we are doing a retest of the short. If we get above the previous high, then we can look for higher. But until we take out this high at 506, I'm assuming it's a lower high dead cat bounce, and the possibility of it to test support at 412 is very, very much likely before upside continuation. So take that for what it is. This is the way I would be approaching it. And you know what? For confirmation's sake, yeah. So for confirmation's sake, even if you took the long from the bottom, once you got above 281, your TP1 was here, 325. TP2 was right at this resistance, 402, and TP3 right here at 502.90. So how I even came to these perfect levels is just measuring the consolidation of the low. How am I giving you these levels to the downside? It's just measuring the consolidation of the top. And you saw me do it live on this video, so feel free to pull up your fibs and do it yourself and see if you can find some confluence with your own technical analysis. Let me take a picture. QQQ. All right, so we're done with this. I'm gonna save this for everyone else. Let me take a picture. And this way, I'm gonna post these on YouTube with the pictures so you guys can use them for reference. QQQQ. All right, now let's go take a peek at gold. Gold. And then maybe we call it a day. So here is gold. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. But the whole point of this chart was we were looking to take longs after 2000, and we were looking for the extension at least to 2500 over here, which we're at. And this is where I was looking for a possible rejection if we were going to get it. Let me go to daily. And that's basically what we're at right now. Now, this previous rejection here from the measured move to 2380 was already like a failure and it went to the next level. But this is like as high as I would be expecting it. So be aware that around 2,500, I'm looking for a top and then a test of support, meaning this little head and shoulder thingy, I want to see it over here. This breakdown thing, I want to see it like that. And this support stays exactly where it's at. So this is how I would be looking for it. Now, I understand, I know some of you guys understand this thing, the OB. Hold shift, there you go. And make this a warning. So losing this level, I want to say it's 2670. The risk of you coming to do the downward sweep into this level is high. The chances, not the risk, the chances of it is high. Let me lower this right to this thing. So what I'm looking for is that move right here. I want to see a little bit of a rejection. I want to see a move all the way down to these levels and then up. Now, this on gold, if this occurs this way, I know you guys are going to be like, what? This guy's crazy. That's about a 10% move off of the top. Usually off blow-off tops, you can see like 30 to 80. 10% is not that big, but being an asset like gold, a 10% drop, I mean, man, what is everything else doing? So just keep that with a grain of salt. Like, I am 100% aware that all the central banks right now are getting out of the dollar as a reserve asset and they're buying gold. So that's why you can see gold going up as big as it is. I'm deleting all this stuff right here. We don't need all this on gold and our gold analysis anymore because it's already past. Now we're at this level. And if I do the same thing I did with the other assets, let me show you. So I pulled it off of this, right? Now let's pull it a little bit higher. Let's pull it off this consolidation. Something like that. So this is why around 25, wherever we're at, to 25.54, I can see that top coming. And then 22.50 is where I want to find my support for the upside continuation, okay? And that kind of is lining up with all the other stuff we just did. And I'm going to delete this, by the way. Let's delete this fib. That fib is no longer needed. Let's just look at it like this on gold. Nice and simple, right? So that 25.54 level is a little bit higher than this channel I'm looking at, but this channel I would definitely attempt to buy gold if it gets into that area. I think it's worth a scalp for the RR risk to reward. Worst case scenario, what are you going to do? Go down under 2,000 and then come back eventually? Because it's gold, you know. How much downside do you really expect? Unless they're finding an asteroid that has gold on it, they can mine it, or they're digging deeper in the planet. Gold is like somewhat of like a reserve due to the effort it costs to mine 1 ounce of gold. That logic is now being applied to Bitcoin and stuff, so just keep that in mind. This is what I'm looking for gold. Above 254, if it has a open and close of a weekly candle, I'll look for that 3,000. But if we can't get above 2250, then obviously I'm looking for that downside. So just be aware. Let me download this. Copy. GLD. GLD. Okay. What else? In the next video, I'll go over stocks like Tesla, Netflix, Coca-Cola, T-Mobile, Meta, Apple. I don't want to go over stocks right now. I'll go over indices. Okay, now let's go to Bitcoin and ETH, and then we'll call it an end. And we're going to go to Bitcoin and ETH on CME. So let me turn off all this BS. And here is Bitcoin on CME. I don't want you guys to hate me, but I'm going to be as unbiased as possible. First of all, Bitcoin on CME looks beautiful, looks bullish, uptrend continuation. I got no negative things to say about that. This wick was freaking perfect TA of this this OB, which I just showed you on the GLD. It's perfect SFP on GLD. Man, I'm gonna take a picture of this. That is a perfect SFP. Yo, this shit not gonna retrace Joe. So I just, in the last picture, I showed everyone gold trying to come do that wick at the 2200 whatever. Bitcoin did it, and now Bitcoin, the path of least resistance on CME, Bitcoin is to the all-time high and a bond. Like if you turn on the indicators, this is what we were looking for anyway. Now, if this retail trend line holds, the next target is going to be 69K and beyond because you're in this little bull flag and you've already done the damage to the downside and you're going up. Now, if we were to lose this level of support, I'd be looking at the lower level, but to buy, but I don't see that happening at all. So just be aware that the institutions are definitely doing their job for holding this to the upside. And unless we lose 58K on a daily close, I'm really not looking too much lower for like everything is higher lows right now. On a weekly, this thing looks like you're going to take an all-time high and you're going higher. If I give you guys those kind of targets, which I don't want to do, but I'm doing it as I say, I don't want to do it, but I'm doing it. So, first of all, this 74 level is the level. Like, this is why we stopped here. That's from the low. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to start deleting a bunch of stuff on CME, just like we did on those other charts. This stuff is not necessary anymore. This was a point I was trying to make in previous video. So feel free to go look at those previous videos if you want to understand what the heck I was trying to get at. This is saying 71K plus if we get to this level. Delete this, delete all this nonsense. Possible areas of support. Oops. Cool. This much I can leave. And this is pretty legit going like, hey, this is where I will nuke along 43.5, 44K. And now if I go with this, I would be looking for us to go to the 102. So once we get above 76,000 and have a daily open and close above it, the next target I have is a 102. So I don't want you guys to like just like hold me to it, but it makes sense that we will go to those levels if everything is peachy keen. Download image, and I'm gonna hold us to that. Now let's go to ETH, and I'm out of here. Here is ETH. Now look at how disgusting this crap looks compared to what we just saw on Bitcoin. We have this nasty gap still here, but I do think now that Bitcoin is doing what it's doing, that ETH is about to fill this gap, and then once this gap is filled, we can just W the heck out of here, just like Bitcoin. So quick flash. Here's Bitcoin. You see how it filled this gap and is already trying to get up out of here? ETH has much more room. I mean, if you're going to be taking a trade and you want to take an easier trade, if crypto market is moving together, why wouldn't you take the lagger that's waiting for the upside? So just be aware that that opportunity is there, and I am going to actually probably attempt that. Here's what I'm looking for on ETH. I already was looking for the resistance from the 1800 longs to these people over here around 34 to 4K. We got that, and now what I'm looking for is the next long opportunity. If we can hold this 16, 26, 27, I'm looking for us to get up to 4 to 5K. So this is stuff that is around the corner. I'm going to actually delete this. Don't want that. I don't want this. This was basically the short from the top. They were looking to take profit around 29.50 and vice versa from 29.50 to 35. So we've been trapped in that range for a while, and it's been annoying, but yeah, it's almost done. I do want to delete this. I don't like that. I'm going to look at it like this. Moving forward. And yeah, if I get an opportunity at 2,500, I will take the long on ETH and I will try to ride it higher. And look at our last resistance over here at like 41.3. Once we get above 42.50, I'm looking for 5,000. So this is the line in the sand right now that's holding us back. Once this thing is done, we up and out of here. Delete all this nonsense. We don't even need this anymore. It's all old shit. So this is how I'm looking at it, guys. For ETH for upside, I do think that this gap is going to fill, and that's like the easiest long from here to the gap fill, take profit, and then have a stop loss at entry and try to ride it higher in a W upside fashion. So that's how I am going to play it. Aside from that, guys, if you have any other questions or concerns, I'm going to just call it at the day for this. If you have any questions or concerns, leave it in the comment section below. If you're interested in trading with me live, please feel free to join my Discord server. Link to the server is in the description of this video below, alongside all the other affiliate services that I use and recommend that helps this channel grow. So thank you so much. Please, 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 please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and give me a comment below to let me know how you like my TA. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.